The injury bug was running rampant around the NFL during Week 6, and today we've got a full laundry list of injury updates to cover on this edition of NFL Daily. But before I get into all those injury updates today, go ahead and shout out your favorite NFL team down there in the comments section. And this is what I'm going to say right now. We're going to do a little bit of a competition. Whichever team has the most comments down there in the comments section, we're going to announce it on tomorrow's show as the winner of today's contest. So make sure you get down in the comments and shout out your favorite team as many times as you want. So now let's start with Colts rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson, somebody that I've been really impressed with to start his NFL career. Certainly not the best quarterback to this point in his career, at least in my opinion. You know, you look at what he's doing right now with the accuracy. He's one of the least accurate quarterbacks in the league. But what he can do with his legs mixed with the playmaking upside that he has, he really showed some great flashes this year. And now the Colts are saying that surgery is likely a possibility here for Anthony Richardson. He sprained his AC joint, which is in his shoulder. And if he gets surgery, it will mean the end of his 2023 season. Now, with a guy like Anthony Richardson, I really do think it's important for him to get reps. So being out the rest of the season is definitely not going to help his progression as he goes into year 2. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the Colts want to do here. You don't want to be too hasty with this. You don't want to force him out there, and you don't want things to get worse for that AC joint. He's the future of your franchise from this point forward, so you want to take every single measure that you can to keep this kid healthy. And then another quarterback, young quarterback that was injured here in Week 6 was Justin Fields. Right when it looked like he was starting to turn it around, he had 2 good performances against the Broncos and Commanders respectively. And then he had a rough start against the Minnesota Vikings. They threw a lot of exotic stuff his way. And then he dislocated his thumb. So if you know anything about dislocating your thumb, in order to do that, you have to snap multiple ligaments in your hand. So he might need surgery here. So the Chicago Bears have been kind of playing footsie with how long this timetable is going to be for Justin. He popped it back in place on the field on Sunday. But if he needs surgery, it's going to take a pretty significant amount of time where Fields is off the field. And with him really fighting for his job and his future as a starting NFL quarterback, it seems like Fields is going to do whatever it takes to stay on the field. But surgery is definitely a possibility. Another quarterback in this league, Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, tell me if you've heard this one before. Jimmy Garoppolo is hurt again. I mean, goodness gracious, his back injury this time was sent to the hospital because there's some worry that he might have a kidney contusion or a liver contusion based on kind of the way his back was bent. But overall, it seems like he's going to be okay. And, you know, he's probably going to miss a little bit of time. We're still waiting to hear exact details on the timetable of his return. But whenever you're dealing with back, neck injuries, that sort of stuff, something around the spine, it could be potentially dangerous here. So we hope Jimmy is going to be okay in the long haul here. And then finally, to round out the quarterback injury news here, Ryan Tannehill in London versus the Baltimore Ravens went down with a high ankle sprain, and he's likely going to be out multiple weeks. So it's either going to be Malik Willis or Will Levis that is going to be the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, and in an offense that's already really struggling. So Malik Willis, it really does seem like this is his time to shine and prove that he can be the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans for the years to come. But let me know what you guys think about Malik Willis down there in the comments section. Can he save the Tennessee Titans season? It definitely seems like with this injury to Ryan Tannehill, the train's kind of gone off the tracks a little bit. Do you think Malik Willis has it in him to save this season? Type yes or type no. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by giving me a yes or giving me a no down there in the comments. Now let's get away from the quarterback news and go to another star player here at a big-time position, running back for the San Francisco 49ers, Christian McCaffrey, suffered an oblique/rib injury, and he could be limited in the weeks to come. Now, I don't think he's going to miss any time. You know, it's going to be extremely painful for C-Mac here moving forward, at least if you believe the reports here. But Christian McCaffrey is a tough son of a gun. He's probably going to play, but because he's going to be dealing with a lot of pain, I don't think we're going to see him get the bell cow type of production that he's had to start this season. I do think he'll be more in a limited role, probably for the next month here as he attempts to get healthy. And then the 49ers had a bunch of injuries. We're going to rattle all of them off here. Trent Williams, star left tackle, in my humble opinion, the best left tackle in the National Football League today. Suffered an ankle injury, and he's going to be questionable for Week 7. It was not a high ankle sprain, though, so it's not going to be multiple weeks. It's going to be questionable here whether or not he plays in Week 7. But there's definitely a possibility, because it's a minor sprain here to that ankle, that he could end up playing this week. And then another big name here for the 49ers, Deebo Samuel, has an AC sprain in his shoulder. We still don't have word on a timetable. I mean, this is the same injury that Anthony Richardson has that might take him out for the season. However, the AC joint isn't nearly as important for a wide receiver as it is for a quarterback, so we'll have to see how long Deebo is going to be out with that sprain to his AC joint. And then Tyreek Hill, if you had him on your fantasy team, a little bit of a scare here. Left the game multiple times versus the Carolina Panthers, but it was only for cramps, all right? So if you have Tyreek Hill on your fantasy team like I do, I mean, you're going to be fine here. Tyreek Hill is going to be on the field. Hopefully the Dolphins can, keep him hydrated, keep him prepared to play these football games, because cramps have been an issue of his in the past. So hopefully he can do everything he can to stay available for that Dolphins offense. And then a really scary injury this week. Damian Harris, running back for the Buffalo Bills, went down, was sent to the hospital for a neck injury, was ambulanced off the field in that primetime game against the New York Giants in Week 6. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Thoughts and prayers are with Damian. He was able to move his extremities on the field. He gave a little thumbs up on the field, so it seems like he's going to be okay, and he has been discharged from the hospital. So hopefully he's going to be all good moving forward, and his NFL career can continue. Another running back injury this week, David Montgomery, number one running back for the Detroit Lions, suffered a shoulder injury, and he's going to be doubtful for Week 7. Now, it's not considered a major injury necessarily. The Lions do have a bye week in Week 8, so the Lions are hoping he sits out Week 7, he sits out Week 8 on the bye, gets healthy that week, and then he can come back for Week 9 and be back to being the number one running back for the Detroit Lions. So now coming up here next on the show, Josh Allen and Garrett Wilson have some very interesting injury news here that I'm going to be breaking down to finish off today's show. But before I get into that, if you're enjoying this type of content here from Chat Sports on the NFL, we are going to have you guys covered with a bunch of different stuff, injury news every week, but also trade updates here heading into the NFL trade deadline. Every time a big move is made in the National Football League, we are going to have you covered with a video right here on Chat Sports. So make sure you click that subscribe button and join our family today. So let's start with Josh Allen, who, of course, in that game versus the New York Giants was sent to the blue tent. He was probably checked out for a couple of different injuries. There's speculation that he has a possible AC joint strain. So again, we've talked a lot about the AC joint today. It's in your shoulder, very important for quarterbacks. But it seems like Josh was good to go. He passed the medical checks. He was able to come back and finish the football game. It's also possible that he was checked for a concussion as well. So it seems like Josh Allen is going to be just fine moving forward, but hopefully that possible AC strain is nothing more serious here moving forward. And then Garrett Wilson, big time scare for New York Jets fans this week as he tweaked his ankle not once, but twice in that win versus the Philadelphia Eagles at home in Week 6. Plain simply, the New York Jets offense needs Garrett Wilson to be on the field and effective. He's by far their number one weapon in terms of the receiving game. Breece Hall is actually looking pretty good as a running back. But if you don't have Garrett Wilson on the field and you're Zach Wilson in the Jets offense, goodness gracious, you're going to have a tough time moving the football through the air. Garrett Wilson is one of the best young receivers. Scratch that. One of the best receivers, period, in the National Football League right now. If the Jets don't have him moving forward, that's going to be tough. But he was able to finish the game, so it's at least definitely possible and probably likely that he will be on the field in Week 7 for those New York Jets. That's going to be all the injury updates for you guys here around the NFL today. If you want to check out where your favorite NFL team stacks up in this week's Chat Sports NFL Power Rankings, you can check that out right now. The link is going to be in the comments and description of today's video. And that'll be it for today's show, man. I really do appreciate everybody that stopped by and is still here at the end of today's show. If you enjoyed this content today, you want more stuff from me personally, you can check me out at Jack_Sperry for more NFL analysis. I put film analysis on there. I give my takes on every single primetime game that happens as well. So if you want some more NFL content on Twitter or X, whatever you guys want to call it, Give me a follow at Jack_Sperry. And until next time, NFL fans,